After seeing the secret in the room, the maid learned that the adventurer had been controlled by the evil god. In order to prevent the adventurer from continuing to harm others, the maid used magic to kill her. However, the adventurer's body seems to have undergone a mutation. At the same time, I have fled to a very far place from the village. At this moment, the maid seemed to be under attack, and suddenly flew in front of me. When I still can't figure out the current situation, the crisis is quietly approaching us. Upon hearing the familiar sound, and immediately turned around and looked towards the other end of the hallway. As expected, the owner of that voice was Aluca. Aluca held a chopper and slowly walked towards Anne. Although Anne knew the secret of the room, she didn't feel angry and instead showed Anne an evil smile. The red magical energy emanated from her and covered the entire corridor. Seeing Aluca's strange behavior, Anne understood what had happened to her. She said to Aluca, "I see. Have you been contaminated by evil god, Aluca?" Anne frowned slightly and looked at Aluca with a serious expression. Although she is now surrounded by Aluca's magical energy, she does not feel afraid. Upon hearing what Anne said to her, Aluca lowered her head, covered her face with one hand, and suddenly began to laugh softly. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Evil god! Aluca tightly gripped the chopper with one hand, then suddenly tilted back and let out a wild laugh. Her laughter echoed throughout the hallway, as if she thought Anne's words were a joke. The magical energy around her kept shaking, as if sensing her emotions. It seems to be mocking what Anne said. "Master, how can you say that about the god of love? This is a great disrespect." Aluca gently stroked her chopper with her hand. The chopper emitted a terrifying silver light, as if trying to take Anne's life. She lifted her head and looked at Anne with her red eyes. She believes that what Anne just said to her was an insult to her god. Aluca did not doubt or reject the power of evil god. On the contrary, she was very grateful for its power. She explained to Anne the help provided by the evil god to her. "The god of love has been very kind to me. In order to fulfill my desire to love everyone, it generously bestowed upon me the power to fulfill my wishes." Because Anne knew how terrifying the power of evil gods was, she didn't believe Aluca's words. She remained vigilant towards Aluca while continuing to ask her questions. The power to fulfill wishes. What is the cost? Aluca closed her eyes and spread out her arms. She seems indifferent to Anne's question. She said to Anne in a relaxed tone, "The cost? No, it doesn't have any requirements. It just helps me see my essence better. Master and I are the same kind of people. There is still one person missing in the love dedicated to the god of love now. You will accept my love, right?" Aluca gently waved the chopper in her hand and pointed it towards Anne. She gave an evil smile and provoked Anne. Her main task now is to complete the ritual entrusted to her by the evil god. Once the evil god awakens, she can give her love to more people. Upon hearing what Aluca said, Anne already knew that the evil god had deeply controlled her. Even if she wanted to persuade Aluca not to continue relying on the evil god, it was already impossible now, She closed her eyes and let out a soft sigh, feeling helpless about Aluca's actions. It looks like there's no hope for her. And didn't say anything more to Aluca. She walked silently towards the direction where Aluca was located. Aluca noticed the footsteps of Anne walking towards her. Aluca thought that Anne had accepted her proposal and was willing to be the last sacrifice to awaken the evil god. She happily clenched her hands into fists and placed them on her chest. She gave Anne a cute smile and said to her in a cheerful tone, "Yeah, I knew Master would understand me. Master, don't worry. You are my teacher, and I will gently cut you off." However, Anne's behavior seems to be different from what Aluca imagined. Her purpose in walking towards Aluca was not to be killed by Aluca. She walked faster and faster, even quickly approaching Aluca in the form of running. She shouted a spell. "Iron Defense!" She cast her magic and shaped her magical energy into 2 iron daggers, and clenched 2 iron daggers tightly with her hands, and forcefully slashed towards Aluca's neck twice. Her speed was so fast that Aluca couldn't see her movements clearly. Before Aluca could react, she suddenly felt a deep knife mark on her neck. In an instant, the blood in her neck splattered out like a fountain. After killing Aluca, and quickly landed behind her, Aluca quickly covered the wound on her neck with her hand. However, no matter how hard she tried, blood still flowed continuously from her neck. She said to Anne intermittently, "Master, why?" Due to her serious injury, the strength in her body is gradually diminishing. In an instant, her legs lost strength and she knelt on the ground. Her thighs were also stained with her blood, which was constantly flowing down. Upon hearing Aluca's voice gradually becoming faint, and didn't need to turn around to know her current condition, she withdrew her magical energy and said with her back to Aluca, "Sorry, Aluca, I can't let you hurt more people." Due to her reliance on evil god, Aluca possesses very dangerous magic. If Anne doesn't find a way to stop her, it will only lead to more people dying due to her evil divine power. Aluca fell to the ground due to losing strength. Her skirt was stained with large areas of blood, as if a few red flowers had been embroidered on it. However, Aluca did not reflect on her behavior. She still feels that her approach is correct. She retorted to Anne in a weak voice, "I haven't hurt anyone. Master, I just give them my love. I love them. What's wrong with love?" "Shut up," and was very angry about Aluca's words. Aluca took the lives of everyone in the village, but she saw this behavior as love, and didn't expect the influence of the evil god to be so great to her. She completely disagrees with this approach. That's not love at all. And turned his head and glanced at Aluca lying on the ground with a serious expression. For someone like Aluca, who is beyond redemption, she no longer wants to say another word to her. Due to excessive blood loss, Aluca's consciousness has begun to dim. Her eyes became increasingly hollow and almost closed. The blood on her lips and neck had slowly dried up. The hand holding her neck slowly lost its strength. She tilted her head, stared fixedly at the floor, and used her last strength to express her thoughts to Anne. If this is not love, what is this? This is love. Take everything from the one you love for yourself. This is what you taught me, Master. Upon hearing what Aluca said, Anne closed her eyes and did not respond to her words. Although this sentence was indeed spoken by her to Aluca, she did not expect that Aluca would turn to the evil god because of this sentence.